This is going to be a different video to my traditional content. This is me discussing my favorite video game, if I can even decide. So, like many people, I have different tastes and a variety of games, and I think really what I would consider my favorite game is I don't think it's something that the majority of people would expect. I'll show really, I've got a huge game library, like ridiculous. It's like I think like 2,000 games plus. It's been like decades worth of content. Doesn't mean I play all of them, of course, on a regular basis, but you have your handful. Um, yeah, so like I say, I've got a huge variety of games. I'm actually loving Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at the moment, and a big part of me wants to say that's my favorite game, but I innately know it's not. Is it something that I'm going to play over the next few years? Once I finished it, no, I will come back to it and play it all again for sure because I love it. But it's not something that I would play regularly like over the course of time. So, with that understanding, what would that game be? Now, on your Steam profile, so on PC we have Steam, and then you can pick up. You can literally have these little boxes, and you can pick which ones you pick your favorite game, and it's like that's where it throws me in a hissy because I end up going around in circles with this. And at the moment, I've put American Truck Simulator. Now, I fluctuate between American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. Now, these are not games you would traditionally think. At the top, I've even got these other ones. I've got Kingdom Come. In terms of game collector, we've got Hogwarts Legacy, we've got Ghost of Tsushima, we've got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I've got Red Dead Redemption 2. I've got The Last of Us. Last of Us is one of my favourite games ever. Red Dead Redemption 2 is incredible. Ghost of Tsushima is incredible. Like we just discussed there, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. These open worlds I absolutely love, open world RPGs. But there's so many other games to my library as well that I could sit there all day long and I love that, I love that, I love that, I love that. But when it comes down to immersion and me being just truly at peace, and like I could spend hours, it's literally American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. Now, these are not knockoff um, cheap fit apps. You know, I see that after these got released, there started being apps appearing on app stores for mobile devices. They're not the same quality. They're not the same thing at all. The simulator community know exactly what these are. Um, and effectively, there's an American version and a European version, both made by the same developer. So SES Software, they were working on Euro Truck Simulator 2 years ago. I think it's like 2012 or something like that. It's been going on. They've always invested in this. It's been great. And they were literally adding content where you had to buy it though. So like, let's say they added France. All of a sudden, you had to buy France, and it'd give you like an incredible network. And then all of a sudden, they would release Italy, and it's like all of a sudden the map's connecting, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They've done Iberia, they've done Scandinavia, they've done Eastern Europe. I think Going East, it's called. We've got the Balkans, we've got all sorts. Recently, the Greece, and I have all of them. I love them. I absolutely love them. And like I said, I'll fluctuate between. Let's put this as a slideshow just a moment. And I fluctuate between playing. How'd you turn the sound off? Oh. I fluctuate between the European version and the American version. So the American version's newer in its release, but the content itself, they keep releasing content for Euro Truck and also content for American Truck. So we keep getting new areas to explore. And like I say, I struggle sometimes to think which one I prefer because they're actually so different, but so similar. For instance, you can see there you've got a ferry in Europe. So this right now is screenshots from the Greece DLC, the recent one, and I love it because the roads are tight. It makes it more technical, so there's more challenges. One of the hindrances for me though with the European one is the tolls. There's a lot of toll booths in certain areas of Europe, but I love the diversity, the different cultures, different notice boards, so the signage and the road networks. There's a technical aspect, but there's a cultural diversity that I absolutely love in Europe. The roads are more familiar to me, I guess, but I don't find myself uncomfortable in America either. And like when I talk about diversity, America Truck Simulator is a reputation of the United States as well, isn't it? So it has incredible diversity as well, but the culture's not really as strong in terms of the changes. But you know, it's fun to be there, and I find that America has more open road. so it's more expansive in that sense. It's more. I find the content as well. The maps are of a similar quality throughout because it's more. It's more. It's a newer. It was a newer platform to begin with. And what they actually do with their games, which is beautiful, is they don't stop working on them. So even though they'll create new areas, new DLC, they're not even expensive, but they'll also work on the base game too, and they'll pick areas of the map to keep enhancing. So for instance, California is free when you buy American Truck Simulator. It's one of the free areas. They recently remodeled the whole thing, and they've done a great job with that. So now I really enjoy driving through California. At the moment, I found myself in Texas, just really enjoying Texas. But if you go north, for instance, you get the forestry in the northwest. You've got the open plains through like Oklahoma, Nebraska. I haven't got Arkansas yet. That's the only DLC I haven't got between the two games, and I probably will get it soon. As you can see there, you've got a McDonald's sign. So there's like a Steam workshop, and you can literally the people have done it. They've changed some of the unlicensed branding, which is fake names, and they've replaced it with brands. So you've literally got FedEx, you've got McDonald's, you've got KFC, you've got Amazon, IKEA, all sorts, and it makes the world feel real. So I can literally navigate through America Truck Simulator, and I'll love driving through America. And I think, oh yeah, this one's my favorite now. This is it. I'm loving it. I love the big rigs. I like the culture of America. So I literally can be there and enjoy myself, and I'm like, I love all this. And there is diversity. The roads, it's a massive distance between each state, which is great. So the map maybe not it doesn't look huge, although it looks big enough. But when you're in it, it's freaking huge. Literally, it takes you a long time just to get through one state if it's a big enough one, especially Texas. But I say, I come out of there and then I go back to Europe because I'm like, you know what, I'll try Europe again. And then Europe, you've got the ferries. I mean, the toll booths get on my nerves. But then you've got more the intricate roads, especially Greece. I mean, Greece and Turkey and places like that. It's like the roads get really, really tight. And like I say, there's a cultural difference between all the places, and it's just they have unique features that the other maybe doesn't have, and I think they blend together beautifully. So there's always a perpetual battle in my mind: which one's my favorite? The reality is that whatever one I'm playing at a given moment is now my favorite. So if I'm playing it there and then it's my favorite, and then I'll jump onto the other game, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite because look at it; it's incredibly beautiful. It's very detailed, and it's immersive as hell. So 1 minute you're literally driving through America, and then the next minute you're literally driving through Europe, and it's just incredibly beautiful. The experience is great. I've been using a controller recently. I used to have a steering wheel, Logitech G920, which is like the G29, but the Xbox version works on PC. I've had two of them, sold them. Now I kind of wish I kept it, but it's setting it up all the time. And I think anyone that isn't just a simmer, I think can attest to the fact that it's really annoying having to keep setting up all the cables. I wish there was a wireless wheel so you don't have all that clutter, because some of us don't have a permanent feature for it. But when we do, it was nice, and I had the gear shifter. But now I use the controller, and I've set the sensitivity to what I like, rather than let it be oversensitive. But I like the fact that I can look freely a lot more with the right stick, so I can check my mirrors more. So there is a benefit to it. And I found the controller just allows me to play it more casually. Like I can play it more often. And look at the detail. Like you've even got stadiums and everything. They've literally put landmark features throughout. You've got airports. You got a forklift there. You got a guy operating things, just standing there. You got it's a UPS. I'm picking up something from FedEx in this one, I think, and UPS was next door, and across the street was the airport. Yeah, look at the signage here. It actually says Seattle, and Portland's the other way. We've got a Shell. So the branding's there. SX on there. Train yard, I think that one was. I'm not sure where this one is. It might be more the open plains. And that's what I'm saying. Like America has so much diversity as well. I heard people complaining about the open plains, the Great Plains area, like Oklahoma, Nebraska. Some people don't like it, and this is it. And it's very open. It's very flat, but I find it really, really relaxing. So I'm like, this is just heaven. I'm really enjoying myself. And like I say, then I go to Europe, and I just love the intricacies. I love it, and of course, like I said, it's familiar. So we get roundabouts. So effectively, I feel like Europe has more obstacles, more things to challenge your mind. You've got to keep your mind. You've always got to be thinking. Um, and I do like I like the challenge, but I like the difference between the trucks, for instance. I do love the big rig type trucks in America, but then I also do love our lorry cabs. You know, where the flat facing ones. I think they're just as fun to drive too. It says diversity in both, so I don't think realistically, I don't see why anybody would own just one. You would get both. And maybe coming in now, it might be overwhelming to think all the content you would have to buy because each state or each country, depending on which map you're doing, of course, if you're Euro Truck Simulator, it's the country or region. So sometimes they consolidate a few countries into one, depending on how big the region is. In America, it's the states. So they're working on a lot at the moment. I think they're working on about 3 different states in America at the moment, even though we've got loads already. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, coming in, maybe a bit overwhelming, but they do bundles. So if you was ever looking for like a certain state, it's worth clicking on that state and then looking down the product page because there might be a bundle where it contains maybe 3 or 4 and it works out cheaper per one if you was to add it up, you know. So for instance, I got recently, it was, I think supposed to be about £30 for 3 of them, for 3 states. It was Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Kansas. So anyway, you got a £30 DLC separately. Through the bundle on the product page, it was £23. And then I waited for the sale because I thought, wait a minute, I was trying to look and when do they naturally have a sale? And it literally come up a few days later, so I had waited, and I managed to get the 3 of them for £15 or just over £15. So literally half price through the bundles, and that's really, if you've got the patience, that's the best way to get the content. And the thing is, you don't need all of them at once. Each state's quite vast. Like I said, I haven't got Arkansas, but I'll probably just get it because I think it's Arkansas. Because I might as well, at some point, it's only going to cost me £8. Because again, through the bundle offer, because I already have some content, they take 10% off or whatever it is. All of a sudden, it's £8 for that one. And it just completes my whole map at this point, and then I'm up to date, ready for the next one. But like I say, you don't need to buy all of them at once, but it's ideal to get them connecting. But you can do quick travel. So for instance, let's say you bought Euro Truck. Like I really like Greece, so naturally I'd want the Greece DLC. But where you start with the UK, and I can't remember what other countries it starts with. I think it starts with like Netherlands, like Holland and Germany. I'm not sure if it had France. I'm not sure if the top of France. I can't remember how it worked now because I know France is a DLC. Yeah, so ideally you want to have them connect. You want to have it all connecting together, so you can then literally drive through each country like seamlessly. It doesn't have a loading screen like that, and that's what's really good. You would assume there'd be loading screen. No loading screens. It's this open plane. It's beautiful. I don't think I'm going to have a map image here I can show. I think I deleted the map ones. Yeah, it's going crazy now. I didn't realize it covers all photos, which is a bit stupid. Yeah, let me do that one a minute. We might better get a map up. Okay, yeah, we can use this one as an example just briefly. So each of these are regions. If you look carefully, you'll start to see the borders of some of them. So effectively, in this one, I didn't have I think it's the West Balkans. I can't remember what one is now. I think it's the Balkans. And this one was the Greece. So effectively, if you had the Greece one, but you didn't have the other connecting ones, it does actually connect to Italy. But again, I think Italy was one as well. You'd have to do a quick thing. So you could still drive in the area. You just wouldn't then be able to connect to the connecting countries because you don't own the content. That's the only thing. So if you want a seamless drive where you want to just go on a long road trip, you want to get connecting DLCs. And yeah, maybe all at once it's expensive, but when you've had it since the start, it's like for most of us, we just get it as it comes. It's not such a big deal, and it's priced reasonable. I get it. I get some of the content, even some of the paint jobs and things, just to support the developer. To be honest, because I think the packs are cheap, really cheap compared to other developers, and the fact that they keep working on it for free, other areas where they don't need to, and they don't charge for the updates. You know, I think they do an incredible job. I think they're great developers. Yeah, I think they should be supported at all costs. They've literally given us an incredible experience because they've given us America and Europe. And I can't help but think when they finish, if they finish America, what they're going to do next? Are we going to get Canada? Because I'd love to see some snow mechanics. But they keep updating it. The whole, even the way the trucks operate, they've added new physics to it and things like that. And like I said, it's just so great. Let's see if we can find something good. Is this the American one? Oh, again, this is me on one of the islands, one of the Greek islands. I literally just travelled to earlier yesterday, I think it was. I was just driving through, and I was in awe, to be honest. I just got off the ferry. If we can find it here, actually, we could find it there. There you go. So this was me on the Greek mainland. I drove from Athens to, I can't remember what the port was now. This one's actually in Rhodes, I think. I think this was the island of Rhodes. I'm pretty sure it was. And I was just mesmerised by that. Yeah, because I think that's Rhodes Old Town. Again, got off the ferry there. I may be wrong with the actual island. I think it is though. And good. Look how tight it all is. So it's intricate. And there's a big fort there, and I'm sure that's a monument. That's of course there. That's why they included it to give it some authenticity. I was just enjoying the views, to be honest. And then this was really nice, just driving through this little tight road. That was near the port, a few turns away, but it did get tight and it did get busy. And of course, it's your day and night. But this one was me driving, like I said, from Athens down to the port so I can get onto the ferry to this tiny island to deliver this something for the trains. And I was just getting really caught up in it. So we've got a distance there. I don't know if it's going to do it. You've got the Greek flag, which, I love all that. I love all those little touches. And it's the authenticity, of all it looks like. I don't know. You get to be there. You get to get transported there, don't you? Like you're living and breathing it, even though it's a video game. And like, I have all these other action games. I have strategy games. I've got everything and anything. And yet this is where I'm truly I find peace with it. I'll go through periods where I don't play it and I forget all about it while I'm caught up in other things. But when I come back, it always brings me joy. And I'm always excited about the development it's had and all the new content to start acquiring because I get all of it. And I always will, and I'm just going to cherish it. This is something that will last. It will never outdate. They may bring out a new game engine one day where it looks even better. But it looks great now. People complain all the time, like, "Oh, they should make it better." Just enhance the resolution. It looks incredible anyway. And this is me at the port, ready to get on one of the ships. I was getting on the one on the right. So each ship has its own shipping lane. So if you get on the wrong one, you're going to end up you might get the limited options on the ports, and you go oh, wait a minute. So you've got to try and reverse the damn thing off. So you've got to try and get that right. So yeah, that one. And then we get off there and look at this beautiful, beautiful island. This is to the west of the Greek mainland. I can't remember the island now, to be honest. So I'm just like mesmerised as soon as I arrive. Got these lush trees, beautiful in bloom. And then you got this church, and it was actually a photo op. It comes up with a photo sign near it on the map. So I took a photo of that, and I was like mesmerised because you got the water to the side there. You got these beautiful trees. It's very scenic. And I get caught up in the environment sometimes, Yeah. And this is where I'm at. So, like I say, look how beautiful that is. So, of course, when I'm driving through these little quaint areas with an immense culture, I'm like, this is definitely my favourite. And like I say, then I'll go back to the American Truck Simulator. I'm not sure I'm about to get there now. I think it's the first one. Right. I'll show you something just briefly after, actually. We'll do the more modern photos because I've been enjoying taking photos of on my IKEA flatbed as well, my IKEA truck. So again, look at that. Look how beautiful the scenery is there. To the right hand side, you've got the city skyline. Look, you can get over to there. I don't know if you can actually drive in the city. I'm not sure. Depends where the train. The point is, it's for trucking routes. Where would the trucks go? And where we're going to do deliveries. But it's so good. Even got the signs there. So you've got Tucson in that direction. You can see the trucks go around there and down. Yeah. I like the fact they put their own signage there. Like, explore the beauty of Arkansas. This is for the DLC, really. They're promoting their own DLC, which I thought was quite cool. El Paso. It's all the little details, We've got this phone mast there. Again, the skyline's over there, but to the side here, we've got the mountains. It really feels incredible. Again, and then I think this one is from if I remember correctly, this might be New Mexico. I think because it goes quite arid after you leave California. So California's all like lush. It looks pretty. It's beautiful. Then all of a sudden it just goes arid quite quick as soon as you get through to New Mexico. So you sort of know when you're changing states really because of the changes. And then you've got this spaghetti junction of all sorts of freaking mayhem. Look with all the different highways. Yeah, I think is it a power station or something or a refinery? Yeah. So turn up, have a look. Um, this is one of those photo video moments. You go to a certain location, it will show you a little montage of the area. So you've got this cemetery there, you've got this city again, the city skyline, you've got the moon in the background. Again, McDonald's, and I'm just taking photos really because I'm just mesmerized by it. I even saw something doing. I think it was. I don't know if I don't think it was Oklahoma. It might be Nebraska. I can't remember. No, Kansas, I think. And they had the crop dusting. There was a plane flying over. Just you can see them crop dusting. It was so good. I may have the photo. I don't think I have it with this truck though. So you got this little gorge here as well with the river. You get open plains. It's just the details incredible. You've even got the crossing here, and again you got crossings in the European one as well. I think there might be trams as well with Europe. And it's the diversity of the weather patterns, and it's just great. I did want to see if we can get that crop dusting image because I have got it. Look, watch for wildlife. I don't know if you can see that. Watch for wildlife dusk and dawn. It's so cool. So I think it's before. Look, you got this track. You got the plane yard. I think this is through Arizona. I think I was driving through Arizona, and you got this like it's just a plane yard. It's not even an airport. I think it's just where they go to decommission the planes. But it's like that's how good it is, though. The detail, you know. There's my prime truck trailer. This is in Vegas, I think. So do you see how the different? Look, that's Caesar's Palace. So FedEx, like I say, FedEx there, and across the street was the airport. You got a forklift there, the guy doing sweeping. You can see the airport at a distance there with the FedEx sign to the right hand side there. UPS, Tacoma. You got. Am I gonna find it? I'm gonna find it. Just you see, I mean, you get a feel that you even got a plane there. Look, the detail is crazy with these. It's just this is nothing. It's not silly. Look, even Domino Pizza there. American flags outside. Here it is, crop dusting. You see it coming out. I don't know if you can see that. But he was buzzing around, going there and then going over to the other fields as well. It's so cool. Yeah, I think this is Kansas. So anyway, as you can see, I'm enjoying myself, and I'm about to go and play something again now. I've got to decide which one I'm going to do. It does cause me a little mischief because I'm like, I don't know which one. So realistically, my favourite game is games. It's Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. And if someone said which DLC to get, I'd say all of them. In all honesty, I think it all comes down to your preference. You know, what regions are you familiar with? Are you attracted to? Sometimes it's where have you been before. So it makes you have that connection to it, which is probably why I like the Greece ones. But I do like the technical side of the Greek roads because it's so tight. But I do love the culture as well. In America, I don't know because I like all of it. Up north, I think is great because you've got the forestry, and I think that adds a lot of character. But equally, I'm really happy just with like the Arizona and things because you get the and Colorado, I think it is where you get the sort of the mountains and things like that. But you get that around anyway. But then of course you get more of you get more. I think there's a lot of character in Texas. I really enjoy driving through Texas. But then even just recently with the Great Plains through Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma, I've really enjoyed that to the point where now I'm thinking of getting Arkansas as well. Because I didn't know if I'd like that area, but I do. I find it relaxing, and there's scenery everywhere. There's always beautiful views, and California come built into the game anyway. And I think you can just have fun there. But it's more. But California is a lot more. There's a lot more traffic there, so it depends how much highway you want to hit. With California, it's a bit more. I think you get sometimes there's some traffic and things, so it can slow down. But it's diversity through both games. It's just really what you're familiar with, I guess. And it is an investment, but I think it's probably one of the best investments.